Hello, welcome back to Thursdays Live. I am live both on YouTube and Facebook. When you find me, let me know what platform you're on, and we're going to talk about fifth dimensional consciousness. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Are you in 5D, 40, 60, 70, 80? And I'm going to talk about why I don't give a flying fuck what you are in. Do you like my shirt? Let me know when you're here. So, isn't this great? This was gifted to me from one of our mentors, Bex, who is on the Recovering Toxic team. Hi, Kathy. Hello, love. I'm so excited for today because the energy, we're going to talk about ascension symptoms. We're going to talk about our spiritual awakening. Hello, Tanya. We're going to talk about fifth dimensional consciousness. We're going to talk about why nobody cares what consciousness you're in. Hello, Omar. Yay. Right? Isn't this so much fun? The back has like a Care Bear on it. Thank you, Bex. I love this shirt. I had to wear it for you guys. I am being gifted like a fun whole, like they just show up in my mailbox of all these really spicy t-shirts. And I'm like, yes, let's bring them forward. Hello, loves. Hello, hello. Okay, so let's start with, we're going to do an energy pull at the end. So you're going to pick which one's for you. We're going to talk about how to navigate through the energy that we have right now. I do want to talk about the energy that's available for us right now, what we're meant to do with it. We're going to talk about dimensional consciousness, evolution or ascension or awakening, whatever term you prefer to use. Go ahead, use that term. We're going to talk about signs of what would show you what consciousness level you're in and what's going on with my wrist. I gardened too hard. I gardened way too hard. So it's just a little bit on the delicate side. So we're just wrapping it in some love right now. Um, and we're going to talk about what else do I want to talk about? All of the things. And I'm also just going to fuel off of your comments as well. So thanks for hanging out. Let's get into it, shall we? The energy for June. So for those of you that, yeah, it's been a roller coaster the last couple of days. For fucking real though, right? So June is about, oh my God, there's so much energy. It's so much. And it's going to keep picking up, right? So we hear this all the time, like, oh my God, the energy is so intense and the ascensions are blah, blah, blah. Hold on, because it's not going to stop anytime soon. It's just going to continue. And eventually you will get to a space where you sort of calibrate with it and you can handle it with much more ease. But this is 2024. That's what the whole effing year is about. So sorry, it is what it is. But there is some very specific ascension symptoms that will show you sort of where you're at and what's happening with you. I've been hosting a series in our galactic. Is it because the planets are lining up soon? It's because a whole lot of things. It's because we're fucking awakening, man. And basically, ascension symptoms in a nutshell are as your body evolves, so it's an evolutionary process, the ascension, the awakening. Your body becomes more quote unquote light or more universal wisdom or more expansion of universal wisdom within you. So then, hi, Ricky. So then what happens is we start to feel the energy of earth more. And the more ascendant we become, the more we feel it. And then you kind of tip into this point where you're like, oh, look at that. That's no problem. I've got this. But it's your body trying to advance from being in a dense mentality and a dense emotional body and a dense spiritual body. And you start to awaken and move through like, oh, okay. And so as your vibration gets higher, you feel the lower vibration more until you calibrate. And then you start to have some symptoms. So right now, like last week, it was all about like your eyeballs feeling bruised, really intense ringing of the ears, um, loftiness, headaches, neck pain, back pain, like a heavy wet blanket on you. And this week is exhaustion, anxiety, depression, all of your ooey gooey, please heal stuff surfacing to the surface. So a lot of my students are feeling more anxiousness, depression, questioning direction in life. The need to want to be in bed. Like Monday, I think Monday, I was like, I don't want to do today. I want to be with my pillows. That is all I want to do. And not sleeping. Oh my gosh. And crazy dreams and what we call downloads, like these epiphanies kind of floating through us. they're intense right now. My heart has been physically vibrating all day, right? Mine was yesterday. I just woke up from a nap. I'm so jelly. I'm so jelly. Ah. Um, the feeling of your heart actually like, expanding. I'm in a state yesterday and today. They've been good days, although all I ate today was a protein bar, so I'm a little bit hangry, so I might be a little extra spicy just because of that. You're welcome. I don't know what to tell you. But the main vibe I've been experiencing is a feeling of my body just being kinda numb and, like, I don't know, like, indifferent, numb, a little on the tired side, but my heart being like, "Oh my god, I feel so much love." Like, "Whew, I fucking love love. I love love. I am love. I love love." Like, love is so good. And not like human love, just like gratitude almost. I don't even know how to explain it. But it's like every time I walk outside, remember everything is a reflection of you, right? So every time I go onto my front deck to or my back deck to take the dogs out to go pee or whatever, there's baby bunnies. There's like 12 baby bunnies. Are you fucking kidding me? Like and there's a woodpecker. There was a raccoon that ran across the street the other day and he has little fluffy feet and he was running. And I was just like in bliss of how much nature there is here. And it's just like, I love you. And I like want to feed it. My ego wants to be like, can we hug it and touch it and love it? So the vibe has been like really fun, very loving, very playful for me over the last couple of days. So I'm curious if anybody else is feeling that. If not, it's coming. It is absolutely coming. Now, we do have an intense amount of solar flares. That's not going to slow down anytime soon either. And that shifts our electromagnetic field. So our vibration vortex that is coming from the heart, which can give you actual heart pain. People with high blood pressure are struggling a little bit more. Anxiety is definitely on the surface. And just this like, why is everything going wrong energy, right? Like, why does this keep happening? But I'm kind of on the flip side of that now. And I'm usually a couple of days ahead. So the good stuff's coming, I promise. Now, for May, June, there's a lot of energy that's also serving us. So, real quick snapshot of we had Pluto go into retrograde the beginning of May, all the way through to the middle of October. And Pluto retrograde is all about looking at yourself, looking at your reflection. I just did a YouTube video on this, the Ascension series this week on Tuesday about the law of correspondence or the principle of correspondence. So go check that one out, please. It's going to help you navigate what your body is asking to transmute or change in your world. So there's that piece. Then we've got the Saturn retrograde happening the end of June, the 29th. The Saturn retrograde can be, retrograde Saturn retrograde. Okay, I'm back on page. Is it can be a little bit heated. We might see some of our loved ones be a bit spicy in not the cute way, in the oh my God, go away way. We're having people summon up every ounce of self hatred and every ounce of self judgment and being like, here, this is your fault. That's a fun ride, isn't it? Love that one. So we're seeing some of that. Hello, Amanda. Oh, okay. I'm just quickly looking at the comments. Aloha. Okay. Yeah. Be in nature. It's amazing. Okay. So we've got people pulling up all of their garbage and being like, this is you, baby, baby, baby. Go away. Like, stop. Just stop. Go look in the mirror. So we've got a little bit of that going on. What it's actually meant to do for us and what I want you to do with it is to look at what wounds want to be healed. It's really about a better understanding of self so that we can level up. Want to hear something really cool? This is exciting. If you do this energy properly, which I've changed how I'm formulating so those of you that are in the weekly forecast membership where I break apart the day and the night of energy and what to do with it, I'm reformulating a tiny bit to our favor. So what I want to look at now moving forward is how to arrive in your highest timeline. So it's energy, how to do that instead of how to navigate it all, because I think that we're moving through this pretty well. So the cool part about the combination of these two retrogrades and the timeline that we are in and the energy of the things you're going to level up on, ready? Fucking money and love. You're going to heal your relationships or your perceptions or your limitations in regards to receiving more love and more prosperity. Oh, who doesn't want that? Sign me up. So that's really exciting. So it's just about navigating the energy properly and um, yeah, and like moving into thriving energy. And that's the whole point of being here is to move from survival energy into thriving energy. That's what quote unquote spiritual awakening is moving from low density to high density. That's all it is. So that's why I want to talk about how do we move into 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, whatever the fuck. Okay. So this is where she's going to be spicy. um, where do we start with this? Do I want to start with lens or do I want to start? Let's start with lens and then we'll move into consciousness evolution. Each one of us have had a set of experiences that we have internalized. We have moved through life and we have looked at this is what happened to me. This is what the world is. From a very young age up until now, that's how we function. We go, oh, this is how I perceive life to be. Our lens, the what we look through, the energy that we're looking through, the belief structure we look through is in that subconscious piece. With these retrogrades, those subconscious things are coming to the surface and we're looking through them. We're looking at what is love, what is prosperity, what is receiving, what is my worth, what is my what are my challenges, what are my successes. We're looking at like, oh my god, how do I look at this and how do I arrive? And we're aching a little bit more to arrive. We're aching for more freedom, we're aching for more fulfillment. And in that ache, we get mad at the people that are not offering it to us. That is your limitations. Boom, that's the thing you're looking through all May and June. Thank you for loving my shirt. It's so cute, right? So it's really about right now, what I want you to do before we get into consciousness, I want you to look at what am I feeling in the world? What am I truly feeling? Where am I telling a story that is an old limiting belief? Where am I being like, it's not my turn yet? Where am I being, this person's a bad person, or this person isn't loving me, or this person's this, or this person's that? What are we looking at? And can you identify what is it actually making you feel so that you can find out why are you aligning with these things? The coolest part about this journey, the coolest thing ever is if you don't feel it in you, you don't experience it in any way whatsoever. You could have the worst thing said to you or done to you, and you look at it and you go, look how broken you are. Hmm, I'm so sad. Cool. I'm just going to be over here. And there's no boundaries required. There's no pain. There's no judgment. There's no let me jump into this and give it back to you and blah, 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 blah. There's no drama. There's no pain anymore. You can literally liberate yourself into you do you. That's fun. Good for you. Uh, I'm just gonna don't fucking care bear. That's all I'm gonna do. Like whatever. And you live your best fucking life and you start to receive the good stuff, the really, really good stuff. And that's part of the evolutionary process or the ascension process. My dogs are barking. It's so fun having an office at home when Amazon delivers. Sorry, guys. There's a whole lot of barking happening. Okay. So let's jump into the consciousness awakening, the ascension, however we want to label this. What is it? And how do we navigate it and where are you at and does it matter where you're at? That's the real question. Does it actually matter, right? The not give AF attitude is the best feeling when dealing with negativity, isn't it? But actually truly not caring, like actually truly being like neutrality, like you that doesn't impact me. It's so liberating when you can like wander around this world and be like, nah, it has no impact on me. And we're human. You're going to have moments like if I'm in Walmart and I'm dealing with like, I'm going to have a brief moment of you are absolutely in my way and you need to step aside so that I can get through this aisle and I don't have to deal with your like vibration, like, ugh, move, 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 because I don't care. Um, but with the people that we care about, the people that we actually truly care about, are we able to move into neutrality with that? That is the quest right now. That is where we're going to see the deepest reflection. We are going to see it in road rage. We're going to see it in, public. We're going to see it in society a little bit as we move towards the end of June. We're going to see a little bit of a division again, the same way we had it back in, 2019. Um, Not that particular thing, but there's going to be something. So right now it's like a practice run. So every day, you're going to be looking at the people in your life. And one of the things that I teach in a lot of the programs that we have here is, what do you desire for the people in your life to experience through you? Like, what do you actually want them to experience through you? It's a really good practice. What do you want your partner to experience through you? What do you want your coworkers to experience through you? What do you want your children to experience through you? What do you want your pets to experience through you? Because that's how it's working. Everybody is experiencing themselves through each other. You are experiencing yourself through your perception and the people around you. But if you are sitting there looking at someone's potential, for example, like I used to could, oh my God, I was so good at it. I like every person I dated, I was like, oh, but your potential. Like, if you just healed this thing, because that's my industry. I've been teaching this for 20 something years. Like, I automatically go into psychoanalyzation and I'll be like, oh, if you just tweaked this, then you would liberate yourself and da 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 da. Da. And I was always looking at potential, but what were those individuals experiencing through me? If they had a path of I'm never good enough, or I'm always judged, or I'm just below the bar all the time, or I'm invisible, or I'm not truly valued, then I'd be triggering that by looking at their potential, even though I thought my intention was to support them. Right. So I really want you to examine this. What are they experiencing through you? Then you're going to see, what am I offering? And then you're going to see whatever you're offering and how you respond and how you react is something within you that wants to be healed. Because if it's not there, you're not going to feel it. And therefore, you're not going to offer it back. Right. So that's the vibe that we have going on for the next little bit, always, but a little bit exaggerated for the next little while. So there's that. If you're projecting, then you're just experiencing yourself projecting your own shit through the other person. 100%. Exactly that. But we're really good at reacting, aren't we? Anyways, um, so this is all about, with these two retrogrades and the energy to level up into your highest timeline, with your highest possible right now timeline, not the be all end all, just the highest right here, right now, with love, with prosperity, with receiving. Then we really want to be looking at, where am I blocking that? And you're going to see that through how you're reacting, how you're responding, and what people are experiencing through you. And it's a really good, if you really want to dive into like a loving conversation with your partner, your romantic partner, ask them, what do you really experience through me in the good times and the bad times? Like, what does it make you feel? What do you feel through me? Like, if they're vulnerable enough to share that with you. But anyways, there's all of that. How does this relate to the consciousness evolutionary process? I love this part. So, in the program, so it's a pre-recorded program called Fully Awaken and Ascend, which is about to be a book with a whole workbook and journaling stuff and all of the tools you need. It's so good. It's about to be alive, which is so beautiful. But in that program, I talk a lot about the ascension process and how to navigate it. One of the specific things is dimensional consciousness. So we hear a lot 5D. Oh, Gaia's anchoring into 5D. Oh, the collective is anchoring to 5D. I'm in 5D. Yay, me. We get all of this, right? So I want to break down the dimensional consciousness levels. Everything is in an evolutionary process, not Darwinism. I don't know what other word to use. An ascension process, an expansion process. Like, let's not be all like, oh my God, this is the word we need, but it's just an expansion. The truth is, Your spiritual journey or your ascension journey is the expansion of universal wisdom within you. To put it really mildly, very short, very small, that's what it is. So there's 3D. So humans have 3D to 8D. I have people all the time being like, yes, I am having a marketing meeting on Friday. I will let you know when you can pre-order the book. So excited. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. This is like my baby being birthed into the world. And it's so vulnerable to put all of your life work on display for the world to see. Nobody talks about how vulnerable it is. It is so vulnerable to take everything that you have discovered and studied and invested yourself into and bring it forward to the world. It's the same as being an artist and creating beautiful art that means something to you and people being like, I don't know, or music or whatever, right? There's a lot of vulnerability in that. So I love that you've been hearing the word expansion because that's what it is. It is expansion. So humanity has 3D to 8D. 9D is face out of the body. I get people all the time being like, I'm in 13D. And I'm like, you're so full of fucking ego. Good for you, you cutie pie, because it doesn't exist. Galactic have dimensional consciousness. Gaia has dimensional consciousness. The animal realm has dimensional consciousness. The tree realm has dimensional consciousness evolutionary process. So we're just going to talk about humans, 3D to 8D, okay? 3D is, well, we know what that is. That's the everything's right or wrong. It's the old way of doing things. It's the 9 to 5 grind. It's the my money, my house, and my identity. It's the I do believe in God or don't believe in God. It's the right or wrong vibration. It's like everything is right or wrong. And you can pick those people out when they like, this girl worships the devil. Nah, 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 nah. Like, oh, hi, 3D. That's so cute. Look at you. That's okay. And then 4D. 4D is the most exciting phase. Okay. I would say out of the spiritual community, unpopular opinion, I would say out of the spiritual community, 90% of humanity that's in the spiritual evolutionary process is in 4D. And it's pretty obvious when they are. They just don't see it. And they think that they're also, anyway, we're not going to put them all together in one category, but 4D is very exciting. And it's when your spiritual expansion, your wisdom expansion starts to happen and your connection starts to happen. And your ego self is trying to figure it all out. And your ego loves to still be important. So 4D, we are still in I need to be important and I need to be seen. So those are the mother that are walking around being like, I'm in 13th dimensional consciousness. Those are the ones that are flipping tarot like mad and being like, oh my God, love is coming your way. Oh, you've done so good. I don't know why I chose to put on a weird accent there, but here we are. That's 4D. 4D is my spirit guides told me. My ascendant masters are guiding me. 4D is, I sound like I'm kind of mocking it. Yeah, I'm going to totally mock it. I'll just be totally transparent. I think it's so silly. It's so silly. And the reason I'm mocking it is, well, one, it's like, oh, get over it. Two, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Do you ever be like, what dimension are you in? I need to know. My soul aches to understand what dimension you're in. No, nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, just stop, right? 4D is when all of the things start to awaken and expand, and it's so exciting. And I was there for so long. Guys, I bought the silk wraps. I had the dreadlocks. I had the like whatever the fuck they're called necklaces with the beads and the all like 4 or 5 bracelets of crystals and crystal therapy. And I bought one of those springs that you put the crystal and you wear it around your neck. And it's like, I'm spiritual. Yay. That's 4D. Mhm. And it's fun. And you start to have amazing meditations and you start to have amazing connections and your psyche expands so beautifully and you're just like, holy shit, this is so exciting. Now, most people will get trapped in that and they will just stay there. They'll just stay there and forever and always and keep making TikToks and standing there sharing their oh so explosive epiphanies. How about the ascension process is like a mountain and then you climb it and you get to the top and you realize that there was no struggle all along. Like, stop, stop, stop. Like you're wasting everybody's time. And it's a trap. And my unpopular opinion, watch me get so flagged for this. Here we go. I'm going to try to talk in code. How much can I share here? My opinion, and it's my opinion. Nobody gives a fuck about my opinion, but I'm going to share it anyways. Really, truly, like we're in a society where everything knows the good agenda, the bad agenda, if we want to call it that, the agenda is all in awareness of the expansion of humanity. We are dumb as F. We are stupid creatures. And if we knew everything right off the top, we would start to hurt each other and we'd take over and we'd be like, I'm better, blah, blah, blah. And we'd use these skills and this wisdom to harm each other. Like we would. Okay. We would divide each other so unrealistic. And then, anyways, because it's kind of like the magic code to creation. But so we have to go through this evolutionary process. Fourth dimensional consciousness is still when you start to have these gifts and this activation, but your ego self is unhealed. So therefore, it just wants to be important. And that is a normal part of being human. And you don't realize that you already are important. So then you start to scream from the rooftop how important you are. And you dress like you're important. And you start to broadcast which dimensional consciousness you are in. And you start to share your gifts with the world. And you start to be seen. And then you're like, oh my God, how do I make money doing this? Because then I could leave the 9-to-5 job. And being spiritual means being in soul purpose. And therefore, how do I do it? And then we become Reiki masters, or I don't know, what do? We go through all of the things, but we're aching so hard to feel important. And that's how you know someone is in fourth dimensional consciousness. They still care. They care what other people think, and they're trying way too hard to be spiritual. They advertise themselves as spiritual. Often in fourth dimensional conscious, some of the signs that you might be in 4D, you still use the word ascendant masters, the term. Ascendant masters, my guides or my dragon or my galactic or my angels or my dead grandma told me to do this and therefore I'll be there. 40. You say all in divine timing. 40. The universe will provide. 40. The universe has a way of things. Everything happens for a reason. 40. All of these are fourth dimensional awareness. This is when we still believe that there is a power outside of ourselves and that we, in fact, are not the universe. But they'll say things like, I know, one love, we're all one, and I am the universe. The universe resides within me. And then they have something happen and they're like, it's all part of the master plan and divine order and the universe. I just asked the universe. I put it into the universe and I said, it's okay. I trust my path. I understand everything's happening for a reason. I'm fine. Everything's great. And they say thankful, grateful, blessed, everything's awesome. But it's not. You still feel the void. Fifth dimensional consciousness. There is a birthing hole for fifth dimensional consciousness. Dark night of the soul. Oof. You can revisit your dark night of the soul, this process we go through, endlessly. You could experience it for 3 years. You could experience it, be great for 2 years and experience it all over again. You could have the dark night of the soul haunt you for the rest of your life if you choose that. The reason you have the dark night of the soul, because that is when your isness and your ego self start to work together. And in order for those things to work together, your ego has to understand that it doesn't need to be important and that it doesn't need to be seen by the entire world. And it doesn't need to be yelling things from the rooftop or being super, super special. It is a painful process. It is a very challenging process to just understand that you can be in a situation where 5 people are talking, or you be talking to the love of your life, and they're going to make it all about them. And you have no desire to say, oh my God, me too. What? Like I had this one thing and then, oh, your back hurts. Yeah, mine does too. Oh, you had a meditation download. Yeah, back in like 2 years, I had this meditation, and you start to take over the conversation. That's because you want to be important. So stop doing that. That is holding you into the cycle of fourth dimensional consciousness. Fourth dimensional consciousness in the map of the Power 369, it actually goes this way, but that's a different story. There's this channel that you have to go through. And in this channel, you shed the desire to be seen other than what you are. And you come to this beautiful conclusion of all of your quote unquote defaults, all of your pain points, all of your limitations. Those are normal things that everybody has, and it's okay. And I'm going to love and I'm going to honor those things about me. And you start to understand what anger is. You start to understand what emotion is. You start to understand the 12 principles, the 12 universal laws. You start to understand, holy shit, I am just a speck in all that is, but I am you. You really embody it. So the biggest thing is fourth dimensional consciousness, you have knowledge. Fifth dimensional consciousness is the beginning of knowing. And in the program Fully Awaken and Ascend, that pre-recorded program, I use the analogy of testicles. Okay. I don't have testicles. I have a vagina. So if someone said, oh my God, I just got kicked in the balls, I'd like, okay, I'm going to watch my partner, Corey. He's going to get kicked in the balls and I'm going to watch him go through the whole process. And I'm going to be like, holy fuck, like that sucked. And then I have someone say, oh, what's it like to get kicked in the balls? And fourth dimensional consciousness is going to be me without balls saying, okay, so it's going to happen. And it is so painful that you might throw up. You're going to fall back onto your knees and da, 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 and you're going to explain the whole thing because you have knowledge of, do I actually have the knowing of being kicked in the balls? No, I do not. I have the knowledge. 4D is knowledge. 5D is the beginning of knowing. Doesn't mean you know everything at all. I do not know everything at all. I know what I know right now, and I think a certain way. I don't actually believe anything. I just think a certain way right now. But anyway, so fifth dimensional consciousness is the beginning transition of knowing. What if you find yourself still asking, what am I, or what purpose do I have? Why does one get stuck in that kind of routine? That is the birthing point of 4D. Our ego self, our human operating mechanism, which is the most beautiful gift that you could ever have. Your ego, oh, it's such a good gift, guys. That's the whole point of being human, is to experience ego. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, is like, what is this? What is this like? What is this thing like? What does it want to be? So when we start to ask questions like that, Leah, we are going into the onset of, what do I desire to experience, is the better question, really, truly. You are simply the universe in motion. You are universal flow in motion. You are consciousness in motion, endless motion. When we get into these traps, which I hear all the time, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? To have an ego. That's your fucking purpose. That's all. To have a body that has really awesome pleasure buttons, a lot of them, it's amazing. To have an ego, to experience an ego, understanding that it is consciousness in creation motion. And then you get to choose what you want to create, and you can create absolutely anything that you desire. But when we get stuck in that loop of questioning, it's because we're not allowing the full expansion of universal wisdom to take place through the ego self. So anyone who's saying ego death, anyone who's saying like let it go, anyone who's being like, what's on your ego? That's 4D. Anyone who's teaching you that your ego is bad, 4D, maybe in the tipping point of 5D, because you're expanding your knowing in 5D, but that is not an evolved individual at all. So when our ego starts to question those things, because that's what's questioning it, not the consciousness you are, then it's your ego being like, I feel lost. So probably go meditate. Probably go allow the expansion to happen. So fifth dimensional consciousness is when you start to let go. You start to let go of, who am I in the world? You begin the process of letting go. You begin the process of, wait, what am I connected to? In fifth dimensional consciousness, you will birth yourself into 6D, sixth dimensional consciousness. It's a birthing, okay? 5D is when your isness, your consciousness, the universe that you are, starts to function through the ego self, and you come into harmony. You come into unity between ego and consciousness. It merges. And in that space, you understand the importance of healing the beliefs that have been holding you back. You understand that your beliefs are what's creating your reality. They vibrate, they create, and you receive that over and over again. And in 5D, you start to get a really good handle on that of like, oh, when my mom, blah, 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 or my dad, blah, 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 oh, I can heal that. And your whole focus goes into understanding what desires to be healed within your experience. And you become a little bit neurotic about it, and you start to microscope everything through, like, you look through a magnifying glass at yourself constantly. It's very exciting. It's very heavy. It's like, I thought I dealt with this. It's a 2 steps forwards, 1 step back situation constantly in 5D, where you're like, I thought I dealt with this. Or total ignorance of, no, I've healed that. My inner child is fully healed. Is it though? Is it? You can fully heal your subconscious. You can. And then from there, which is your inner child, who's your past self, that's a task though. And once you do that, you stop operating off of your subconscious and you start operating off of the consciousness. That is a very challenging thing to endure. It is very conflicting within the ego self. Your whole world freaking changes and you start to look at the world completely different. And it feels very isolating in the beginning because you're like, I don't understand. I don't understand how people are so stupid. Like, you're literally like, what is happening? And it feels very isolating. And then you feel like you're the caregiver for everything in your life, but not that you're over giving or nurturing, but you're just holding space for everybody. And you can see exactly what's going on within them and where they're holding themselves back. And you're like, that's what we're talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, this is fun. And it's like really lonely. And then all of a sudden you come to terms with like, oh, well, I can just fuel myself with this or this or this or this. And then it gets really exciting again. But 5D is the integration phase. It's the most important phase. 4D, you can bypass that real fucking fast. You can be like, holy shit, there's more, and immediately go into yourself and your limiting beliefs and be like, what's in there? Let me transmute it. Because the moment you transmute your limiting beliefs into something that serve you, you stay out of the energy frequency of I need to be important. 4D is a trap. And society, the unpopular opinion that I tried to share earlier that I didn't. So everything, we know that everything's in motion. Everybody knows there's a huge agenda about that. So people like Oprah or other leaders in the spiritual community came out with this glass ceiling. Jesus was the first one. They put this like beautiful glass ceiling on Jesus. And they're like, okay, he walked on water and he walked on water, turned water into wine. He did all of these things and he was oh so spiritual, but he wasn't from this world and he was the father of God. And then they fucked it all up for us. And then we were like, oh, okay, so try to be like Jesus or try to be like, okay, cool, but don't actually, because it's not actually attainable. So they tried that. Jesus was the first celebrity. He's Anunnaki. He's the first celebrity. And then they brought in people like Beyonce or whatever that have these like, whoa, lives. And we're like, oh my God, like, okay, how do I? They brought in basketball. Like, why did they glorify sports so much? So that little kids who have athletic tendencies could be like, one day I'll be great, but really, truly believing that they'll never actually make it that far. And that this is this unattainable thing. So that we stay in this loop of trying to attain instead of trying to become. So spirituality, same effing thing. They put out all this stuff about like, do this, do that, do that. Shun your ego. If you shun your ego, you will never move into 6D 60 ever. You'll stay in 4D in that trap forever. And if we stay in 4D forever, we're still controlled and we still play along and we still spend our money and we still self-loathe and we still do this and we still separate each other because 4D is all about I'm more spiritual than you. It's like a competition. It's weird. It's a competition still. They've somehow taken spirituality, the one thing that is our truth, the one thing that is like universal wisdom is unity, and said, oh, let's just keep each other judging each other. It's so great. You eat meat. Oh, you say fuck. You're so unspiritual. You smoke cigarettes. Oh my God. Do you drink? Oh, I'm a fucking human. Let me try everything. Yeah, I'm going to try everything. I don't do drugs, but could you imagine if I did though? Could you imagine how unhinged I would be if I did drugs? Maybe I should try it one day and just show up here and be like, hey, let's see what happens. It's the one thing I can't. I'd be lost in the ethers and I'd probably never come back. but you do you. I don't care if you do them or not. Anyways, so what the fuck was I trying to say? I went way off and I'm getting distracted by how busy my shirt is because somehow there's two like loops that are right on my boobies. So then I keep trying to, I'm like, whoa, look at those. Like, this is very confusing. I'm having an ADHD moment. I'm going to come back into centered. Let me just look at the comments for a minute. The judgment is unreal, right? I literally had to unsubscribe from someone because they were bashing the ego. Yeah, right? Do it. Like, no, thank you. Bye. Um, yeah, you can't. And then you get these other people. There's a couple of people on TikTok that literally make me want to like make my ego is like, what the fuck are you doing to your million followers? Like, you stupid a-hole. Like, it blows my mind. And you can see it. You can see when someone's being authentic and you can see when someone's being false and someone just wants to be fucking important. There's this aura about them. And I don't, my heart hurts for it in my human, right? Compassion is our biggest default. Our compassion is like we love each other, we want for each other so bad, but it's also not allowing us to accept each other for where we're at. So I don't spend a whole lot of time at like on TikTok. I desire to put more out there. I've been saying this for what, 6 months, but have I actually done it? No. So maybe I'm not willing. I don't know. But it's like our compassion can lead us into judgment. When we hurt for others, it's because we're judging where they're at. And I'm doing my damnedest to master that. In my personal life, yeah, no, I'm totally fine. But when I look at how society is running and functioning and how much misinformation and how much weird direction is out there, my heart aches a little bit because I'm like, it can be so simple. It can be so simple. And I think my biggest motivating factor is I am a 45-year-old woman who didn't want to be on this planet, hated being human. I used to say all the time, these meat suits are so fucking heavy. I hated being human. And I tried to leave Earth a few times. And then I watched some of the closest people in my life who I adore and love the most try to do the same thing. And I know the pain of being human because it hurt me for so long because I didn't understand what it was. And I ache for that. I ache for people to not experience that because I know it so well. And then I don't know, I get a little like spicy about the dumb dipshits out there that are like, oh, the awakening is a mountain. Follow me, I know the way. Let's stop. Stop. Um, because I don't want people to stay in that trap of fourth dimensional consciousness because I was there for a really long time, like a few years. When I look back, I'm like, ooh, good job, Diam. I'm so proud of you. Oh, so good. So that's for 45D. 60, when you birth through fifth dimensional consciousness, it's this open gateway of 6 and 7 where you kind of float and bounce and you can go play in 5D. 3D, you're like, neat. And you just know what to do with it. 4D, you're like, oh, baby girl, that's awesome. Feels like you're managing a kindergarten classroom when you're in 4D. You're just like, holy shit. Like, okay, it's like herding cats. Like, 5D, totally cool. You start to integrate. Those are the people you want to have conversations with because they are in the thick of discovery and epiphany, and it's amazing. And then 60, 70 is this floating space where you fully have embodied the principle of divine oneness. You have you understand truly the power 369. You understand truly how the universal principles, universal laws work. You are them. You are those frequencies in motion. You understand how to fully, fully, fully create your reality, and nothing can stop you and nothing hurts you. You have these moments because you're human. You're going to always have moments, but it's literally moments, not hours, not days, not weeks, not months, not years. It's like a little like, oop. It's like getting swatted in the face and you're like, pardon? And then you're like, okay, cool, moving on. So it's, can you please touch on 369? Erica, I would love to. It's super, super complicated. It is not something that I can just spew out in a heartbeat. It's in the program Fully Awake and Ascend. It's a whole section. It's the whole third section of the program. So it's like 4 hours of explaining. So to touch on it, kind of hard, but there's no way I can just touch on it, like, briefly. I would be here for 5 hours. It's exciting, and it's easy, and it's meant to be easy, and basically, if I could sum it up, the easiest piece to understand would be you you know this, and it's not gonna make sense unless you understand all the other stuff, but right here, right now is your only moment, and what you perceive to be through the infinity symbol is what you will continue to pull in. Wanna play arts and crafts? Here, we've done this before. I'll show you. Um, this is like the fourth or fifth time I've drew something today. So I did a TikTok on this, and some scientist was actually like, "That was the most painful thing to watch ever." And I was like, "Cool. I'm on your page, but if I'm explaining a 4-hour technique in 3 seconds, yeah, it's going to be a little painful." And then he responded back. He's like, "Oh yeah, facts actually." And I was like, "Cool. Shut the fuck up and stop commenting on my shit." Like, if you don't like it, don't comment. Go away. Like, you can literally do that. Yes, I have the tattoo, but it's upside down, Leah. Okay. Also, I have an infinity, but I'm gonna hit my mic. And she did a really shitty job. Like, look at all the blowouts, like, kind of embarrassing. Anyways, we'll get that fixed one day. The infinity symbol. 369. So I can't see which way you're going. Okay, if I go this way. So 3, 6, 9. 6 is where you are right now. Your perception of your childhood, your perception of money, your perception of everything from your childhood that you have learned up until now, your past is right here and it floats through you. And it goes, let's continue to create that. Cool. And bring it into here and now. And you're like, cool. Love is really hard. And it's like, oh my God, I'm dating a narcissist. Why does this keep happening? Oh my God, money is for greedy people. Wow, I have so many bills and lack of financial flow. It is a constant, endless flow of everything moving through you based on what you perceive is what you will receive, to sum up the power 369. Just that's the smallest piece of it. So that is how your energy moves through life. So there's that. Do you have any good techniques to go into your subconscious beliefs? Divine alignment, just Jenny. Our whole program, divine alignment. That's what we do. We heal your subconscious. We help you navigate that. Which I might have an opening for one person one-on-one, but Bex and Amanda both have lots of openings, but I'm thinking about opening up one. And in the newsletter that's coming out on the 1st, I don't know, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So 31. So today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That was a process. That's how my brain works. June 1st, Saturday, the newsletter comes out with a program that's coming out, my last one-on-one program, which I didn't think I was going to do again, but I had an opening. So there it is. Back to the subconscious beliefs. I am so ADHD today. I really should have had a sandwich. Yeah, I probably would have been thinking more clear if I had eaten and peed. I do have to pee also. Okay. You're welcome. TMI all the way. In case you were wondering, how's your bladder doing, Diam? Well, it's actually kind of a bit full. How's your tummy? It's a bit empty. Total contrast going on within myself. Back to subconscious beliefs. How do we do that? So, subconscious beliefs. Look at where there is lack in your life. So, where is there lack? What are you feeling towards that lack? And where does that belief or that feeling stem from? And then you're going to go and try and heal that. I should have had a V8. Isn't there like a slap your head? Should have had a V8. Oh, that shit's disgusting though. But yeah, it probably would have been better than my moment right now. So healing the subconscious is understanding what your beliefs are. Step number one. So what are the beliefs that are holding you back and limiting you? Do you believe that love is hard? What were you witness to as a kid? Just start with, where is there fucking lack in your life? So is there lack of love? Is there lack of intimacy? Is there lack of depth? Is there lack of financial flow? Is there lack of receiving? Is there lack of freedom? Is there lack of play? And then you can look at what's your desired reality, and that's going to help you navigate where your blockages are. So wherever you have lack in your life, that's where your blockages are. Second point, go look at the Ascension series video I did on Tuesday I talk a lot about how to, it's 15, 20 minutes, I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of tools in that one too on your reflection in the world. And then it's inner child work. We have an inner child program. It's $27. It is not expensive, but don't rush your ass through it. Take your time. That will help you discover where your limiting beliefs are as well. So it's all about kind of diving into those spaces. You are completely capable of doing those things on your own. We just help you speed up the process because I did it the hard way and I don't want that for the world. It's awesome. Cool beans. All right, let's go into, is there anything else that I wanted to say? 6-dimensional consciousness, 7-dimensional consciousness. I am all over the map today, guys, eh? Even like worse than normal. I'm like, should have had a VA, like legit. Okay, so 6th, 7th dimensional consciousness is absolute liberation and freedom, where you completely embody all of those things that we've talked about, and you are fully creating your reality, and it's awesome. It's amazing. It's so liberating. There is nothing that can hurt you. You are unbelievably unstoppable, and you are the full creator, mostly in neutrality. The only thing that's like, that's when instinctual fear begins to surface. The instinctual fear. Dare was over, and we did some gardening, and I had a moment with Spider. It was awesome. Loved it. And now I'm like, oh, so let's revisit that instinctual fear. So that's 6, 7. And then 8th dimensional consciousness is not something where you reside. It's your meditative state where you get your downloads, where you have your channeling with the galactic. And you can channel at any point. Any of your gifts can be highly exaggerated at any point. It doesn't matter if you're in 3D. There's some people in 3D who are insanely psychic. That's not denoting to where you are in your ascension process. It's how you create your reality is what's denoting to your ascension process, where you are in your dimensional consciousness. So 8D is you literally in your, it's euphoria. It is connection to everything. It is home. It is wow. But you can't really truly reside there. There's not much ego in that spot. So there's that. Oh, totally true. Thank you for putting that up there. Whoever's on as Diamond, no. Whoever's on as me. I don't know if it's Amanda or Leah or whoever's doing that for me. But yes, the Fully Awakened Ascend program does have the inner child work in it as well. Okay. Let's go into an energy pull, shall we? Okie dokie. Oh, in the title, I put like, are you in 5D and why I don't give a fuck? I don't give a fuck because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Nothing is good or bad. It does not matter if you are 3D or 5D or quote unquote 13D. Nobody cares. This is your own journey. This is how you create your reality. Your desire to be important is going to block you, and it is a sneaky bitch. You don't even know you're doing it. You don't even know you're doing it. And I'm not saying you're all doing it, but when you're doing it, you don't know you're doing it. And it blocks you from everything that's available for you. And so it doesn't matter if you're in 4D or 5D. It doesn't matter. You don't need to judge yourself. It is not a competition. It is not a race. There is no finish line. If you think there's a finish line, hi 4D. That's okay. There is no finish line. It is endless, infinite expansion. And you can have as much as you want of that in this reality or as little as you want. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are in motion as a collective, as a body, humanity as a body. We are in a slow, energetic shift. Slow, really? No, probably not, because we really haven't even been there that long. So we're just in a process. It doesn't matter. And the process has no end. It has no beginning. It has no end. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter where you are. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't advertise where you are because nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's a you thing. You do you. Okay. Let's go into an energy spread. So I'm pondering, do I open the doors to just answer direct questions or no? No, because I have another call at 4 and I will talk for another hour. All right. 1, 2, or 3. Let's go into that. I'm going to do an overall. Then we're going to go into group 1, 2, 3. What are you picking? 1, 2, 3, a combination, a progression. Let me see it in the comments. I'm going to tap in. Buttes. Okay. Oh, so sweet. Erica was like, 2, please. A combination of all 3, please. You don't have to say please. You guys are so cute. Just be like, bitch, tell me. Stop talking and being hungry and just tell me. It's what I'm here for. I'm here to be of service. All right, seeing all the numbers come through. I'm going to start with the overall. Buttes. Okay, I'm going to start with the overall, and then we're going to move into this. I will say number ones came out very delicate. Number twos were like, blah, 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 here I am. And the number threes were like, hi. So that's how I felt it. So let's go into the overall theme, and then we're going to go through the cards. Okay. This is our overall theme for the week until I see your faces, until you see my face, because I don't even get to see your faces. I get to see your pictures. And some of you have some really great pictures, just so you know. Okay. The energy, the whole theme right now for all of us is transmutation. This is about, can you drop the armor? Can you allow your galactic ascension? So when I see the wings, right? That's why the logo's wings. That's why we're here. I think it's up in the corner, the wings. If you know, you know, you know. This is about, the overall theme of this week is taking that reflective space and being like, what am I offering? What armor am I holding? We're really looking at, am I being reactionary in the world? I had a huge download that I got to share in the Starseed group last night about that. Because we're moving through light body code activation. That was last week's conversation. Anyways, so the whole theme of this week is self-nurturing, self-love. Can we let the armor down or the guards down? Or can we just observe the guards that we have? Like, why do we have our guard up? Why do we have armor on? Just becoming aware of why will help the transition of what you're already. And nothing needs to be forced. Nothing needs to be rushed. It is an evolution. It's a slow transition. That's all. So the whole theme this week is getting into embracing yourself, getting into really looking at any pain points that are surfacing. I know this week coming up, so the 3rd through to the 9th, because I already recorded the energy forecast for that week, is all about, as we move to the end of the money, be getting really clear on what's been holding us back from receiving more prosperity. So start this week properly with self-reflection. Okay, that's the theme for all of us. Let's go into number ones. My little delicate. Oh, okay. All right. It's an interesting energy, number ones. I feel like number ones are moving into real deep dive within self, real deep dive into like really analyzing. And then also like, I'm going to trust. And then, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm going to trust. So it's like this weird back and forth energy. Also, some of the fears that might be surfacing for number ones is missing out, fear of missing out. FOMO is a real thing. So the fear of missing out or the questioning of, I don't know what I am, who I am, what direction I'm going in. I feel a little dazed and confused. I feel a little identity crisis. I feel a little lost. I feel a little, I don't know. I don't know the way. I don't know what's ahead. So the message for you to arrive in your highest energy this week is going to be about going back to that theme of what can you one thing, just one thing. We don't conquer everything at once. We're not meant to. We don't have to dive into everything at once. That's not how it's meant to go. It's one step. So when we look at your highest desire, the reality that you desire to have, number ones, what is it really truly right here, right now? Not 10 years from now, not if you won the lottery, not if like not the stupid shit. Like right here, right now, what makes you feel better? This is about you. When we feel better, when we actively pursue feeling better with one little thing, one little permanent change, we are moving through things and we are evolving. So I want you to look at your comfort zone. You're not meant to go all the way out of your comfort zone. You're meant to go to the top of your comfort zone until it becomes normal and natural. And then your comfort zone will lift and then you can go up a little bit more. It is baby steps that lead to huge transition. Don't try to accomplish everything at once and don't look at your whole life and be like, I don't have the money I want. I don't have the partner I want. I don't have the house I want. I don't have I have this dream that I have and I'm not even close. We've got to flip the script, number ones, on what can you really truly embrace lovingly? What can you celebrate? And what's one little step, a permanent, sustainable step that you can take to allow more ascension, more wisdom, more joy, more love, more laughter into your life. So when we like, I know some people right now are going through like a lot of money fear because that's the theme that's coming up. And they're like, okay, so I got to apply to all the jobs. And then they get frustrated because they're not getting a job. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm not actually living in purpose. So this is the universe showing me that I'm supposed to be in purpose and I'm not supposed to take those jobs. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If something doesn't come to you, it's because you're not aligned with it. You can be aligned with 3D work or divine purpose work. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't come to you, there I hear all the time, "Oh, see, it wasn't meant to be." No, it's because 'cause you're not aligned with it. And if you're like, "Oh, that 3D job didn't come to me. Oh, it certainly wasn't meant to be." No, it's because your vibration actually doesn't match the 3D job anymore, so congratulations. You are already in alignment with something higher. Figure out why you're blocking the higher. So it's that sort of process, right? Hungry, grab a Snickers, right? Yeah. Okay. I actually have chocolate in my cupboard and I should have eaten some of that. I should have, could have, would have. Those are stupid words. Don't use those words. It would have been better if I had eaten some chocolate. But that's okay. I'll eat lunch after this. Okay, we're going into number twos. You guys are a wild card right now. What is going on with you? Wild card. I feel like you guys are going, number twos are flip flopping either between the feminine masculine or the doer creator or the I'm I'm this label, no, I'm that label. I or you're like I am where you're like, okay, I'm giving to this person and then okay, I gotta go take the dogs out and then I gotta go make dinner and then I gotta make sure this and then I gotta flip the laundry. I have to fucking flip the laundry, damn it. And we're like, oh my God, all over the place, right? So what I hear is like you're being pulled in between realms and you're being pulled in between worlds right now, number twos. And that could be any degree on the scale, it doesn't matter, but you are shifting a lot, and so you're experiencing a bit of contrast or you're experiencing a little bit of overwhelm or you're experiencing a little bit of chaos in your life or your the dogs or too much stuff going on. And this is the opportunity this week for you to step into your highest timeline is to understand in every single moment, majority of moments, what energy am I in, what energy is required of me right now. In the 12 principles, one of them is the principle of gender. Gender's bullshit. I got to find a different word for that, but it is the principle of either the divine doer or the divine creator. So, what I want you to do to arrive in your highest timeline and to settle into, and with something I've been practicing quite a bit, ironically, is in each moment, what's required of me in this exchange, in this moment? Is it the divine creator within me, or is it the divine doer within me? Is it action oriented? Is it nurturing oriented? Is it putting to creation into motion and visualization and feelings? Is it summoning up my feelings for vibration, or is it physical action required right now? Is it authoritative energy? Is it nurturing energy? And it's going to shift the way you receive in the world and how the people in your life receive from you. So when you're moving into things, it's very easy when we have a lot of things going on, but this is what you're mastering. So I have a vision of someone right now, one of you, I can see a living room and I can see there's a dog and there's some fucking kids and there's a partner and like this needs to be done and that needs to be done. And it's a little bit of a chaotic thing. And a child comes up and is like, but blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, just fucking get it done. Da, 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 da. Not like that, but that's probably how I would say it. But anyway, so it's like this like boom. But actually what was being required was nurturing in that moment, not authoritative energy. So we're being encouraged to slow down. We're being encouraged to breathe a little bit deeper. We're being encouraged to feel that energy, that shift between doer creator. When you acknowledge it, when you can feel which one you're in, there's a sensation for both. When you can understand the feeling and the sensation, and then you can start to look at your world and be like, creator or doer, which one's required right now? And then you offer that version of yourself and you tap into that and you activate that, you're going to have a much higher outcome for everything involved, including yourself. It's also going to prevent you from moving into resentment. It's going to prevent you from being like, can't believe that I have to do the dishes and they didn't do the dishes again and da da da. Nobody ever fucking puts this away and, and you start slamming cupboard doors or whatever your process is. It's going to stop you from doing that too. So it's going to really help you heighten your vibration instead of falling into the frustration or the resentment or the you're not, blah, 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 finger pointing things that we do. So slow down, breathe, understand those two components of yourself. Go explore them if you have time, just 5 minutes a day. What does it feel like to be in creator energy? What does it feel like to be in doer energy? And explore, activate your divine creator, activate your divine doer. And we are going to be having this space where when you're in sixth, seventh dimensional consciousness, you really do merge both of those things and you understand what's required of what. So it's just going to help you feel a lot fucking better by the end of the week if you can start to master this right now. So that's what you're being encouraged to do. Number 2. Don't tell yourself the story it's hard. It's nothing is hard. Ready? Ready? Let me serve you a lesson right now. If you're like, oh my God, it's so hard and it's so excruciating, it's so challenging, then you've got this preconceived notion of that's what it is. And therefore, you're always going to experience it in that fashion. Don't deny yourself that. Like, don't deny yourself the freedom. Stop making yourself small by saying it's hard. Oh my God, my ascension symptoms. Blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking sensation. Get over it. You've got a body. It feels things. Come on, drink some water. Move on. You're fine. Pop an Advil. I don't know. Move on. You're okay. The same thing with like any transition we do. If we're like, oh, that was fun. Any transition we do, if we're like, oh my God, it's going to be so hard. I'm not like, I just started doing ice baths a couple of weeks ago. I hate the cold. I hated the cold. Okay. So I'm sitting here looking at a bath of ice and I'm like, this is going to be the worst thing ever. Oh my God. This is the story I told myself for years and why I wouldn't do it. I was like, this is going to be so uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. I've got to try and breathe it. And my body's going to hate it. It's going to be such a big reaction. And then I started doing it and I had the right mind space. Fucking easy peasy. Not hard in any way whatsoever. And previous time, no, if it's not sunny and hot, I don't want anything to do with it. So I do this for 3 weeks. My partner does it the other day with me. And I'm like, okay, just so you know, like you got to set yourself up. You got to do this. Da, da, da. And my partner's like, oh, it's just going to suck. So it's just going to totally suck. Jumps in, tightens up so hard. It's like the whole time. It was 60 seconds. I seriously hope he doesn't see this. It was 60 seconds. It's fucking 60 seconds. You couldn't fucking relax for 60 seconds and stop being, oh my God, it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard. So what are you doing? Nothing is hard. Nothing is excruciating. It is a perception. It is a sensation. It is an experience. It is an evolutionary process. Do you think a child who is going from crawling to walking and falls down 100 times is like, this is way too hard, I can't? Oh my God, okay, I'm learning to walk, but it's so excruciating and hard and I keep bumping myself. They're like, cool, I'm gonna try it again. Oh, I fell down, getting back up. And they get better and better and better at it. So the same thing with you. Fall down, it's fine. Learn to fall. You're gonna be fine. There's your moving on. Number 3s. Okay, number 3s. Sorry, there was a lot of information that came through. Okay. Number 3s, I very much desire for you, and this is the direction, is can you move into non-judgment of self? You are human. You are allowed to be spicy, bitchy. You are allowed to be soft, gentle, loving. You are allowed to be all of the things. This is, I wonder, Ariel, if you picked number 3 now, because I just handed you pretty much what it says. I love you. Sorry. This is about, can you move out of the judgment piece? Like, I thought I dealt with this. This is painful. This is hard. They don't understand me. I feel invisible. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I don't know if I should wear this shirt or not. Like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Like move out of whatever judgments are going on within you and move into acceptance of how you are navigating your path. Can you accept how you are navigating your path? And can you accept that there is no wrong or right way to navigate your path? It is simply a navigation. It is simply a discovery. When we move through that, we are going to birth ourselves into, and this is your highest possible outcome right here, right now for number 3s, is the next level, the next sustainable level of awareness, of wisdom, of being a particular way. The next level, it doesn't mean 40, 50, 60, put that out of your mind. It means, oh my God, I'm going to sustain this way of being. And you have an opportunity to level up into a more beautiful sense of freedom, a more beautiful sense of creation, a more beautiful sense of like, yeah, euphoria, like whatever that is for you, you have the to easier. Let me just simplify this. Your life could be a lot fucking easier if you stop judging your goddamn self. Message received. Okay. That's what it is. You have the ability to level up in any fashion of your life. It doesn't mean from 0 to 10. It means from 0 to 1 or from 5 to 6. It doesn't matter. Stop judging it. Stop desiring things that are out of your comfort zone. Stop desiring. If you are sitting here and everything is going fucking wrong in your life and you are living in a shitty ass little apartment and you don't have the job that you want and your finances are a little bit tight and your body's not quite where you want it to be and your car just fucking broke down, don't sit there and desire the mansion and the retreat property because you're wasting your time, because you would already have it if you were capable of aligning with it, and you haven't aligned with it because you aren't allowing yourself to move through the here and now. So you want to come into the reality. Where are you fucking at, and can you accept it, and can you be, what's my next step? What's going to make me feel a little bit better? Because exactly what you have right now is exactly what you are aligned with. Exactly. The lack and the receiving. You created it. You are in this world right now. What you are experiencing right now is on you. And as you stop to go, can I embrace this? Can I accept this? And then what's one step that's going to bring me a little bit more high vibration, a little bit more joy, a little bit more laughter, a little bit more pleasure, a little bit more like gratitude, a little bit more like, oh my God, look at the fucking bunnies. Like, what can you do? How can you give yourself permission to move one thing this week to level up? The more that you permanently sustain, like you have to sustain these changes. You can't be like, I am all, or I am love, or I am powerful, I am a superstar, and do that for like 24 hours and expect your fucking world to change. You can't sit on the couch and sit there and manifest and visualize and create a fucking vision board. Please, for the love of God, don't make a vision board. You're wasting your life and a tree, probably. You can't sit there and do these little things and expect your whole life to change. You have to be the change. You know it. It's a saying for a reason. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in your fucking life. It's on you. So what do you want? That was so spicy. Be the change you want to see in your life. Do that. What's required for that? You will level up. You will absolutely level up. But how are you going to sustain it? So you really want to get into, is this sustainable for me? You can't go from 250 pounds sitting on the couch eating Twinkies to rock solid gym routine. That's unrealistic. You can't go from smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day to being a non-smoker in 5 seconds. Exactly, Leah. 5%. 5% change. That's all that's required, by the way. 5% change. But I just want you to pick one thing. Pick one area of your life that you think sucks. Stop saying it sucks. Be like, look at what I created. Because here's the actual truth. The contrast you have will propel you into the exact opposite. When you are very clear on what you will no longer allow in your life, when you are very clear on how you will no longer allow yourself to stay small, and you get it and you go, oh my God, I'm ready and I'm done with this, then you will move on to the thing that serves you. But without the contrast, you will have no idea. So no matter how shitty your life is right now, bring it on, because the shittier it is like a slingshot. Oh, yeah. The worse it is, the worse it is, the worse it is. All of a sudden, you're like, fuck this. And you go, boop, all the way. Whereas if you're like, ew, I don't know if I like it. Okay. Thankful, grateful, blessed. Boop. And you just play this like little back and forth thing. Crank that bitch back. Crank it back. Get aware of what you hate in your life. Get aware of all the judgment and then accept it and be like, that was me. Because the moment that you go, that was me, it's going to put fire under your ass and you're going to make some change. But there's that. Cool beans. It's over. I love you. Love you so much. All right, sign up for the newsletter. I moved away from doing one-on-one sessions for quite a while ago, and decided that because That's why we have Bex. That's why we have Amanda. That's why we have Ricky. That's why we have Dare. They're phenomenal. And I wanted to be able to offer someone else the opportunity to be in divine purpose. So these beautiful people. Oh, and Jacqueline too. You should meet Jacqueline. Love her. I think I've got everyone. I might be missing someone. I don't know because my brain is still focused on the fact that I should have had a V8. So um, I wanted the opportunity for other people to experience divine purpose. So I created that program. Now they're certified mentors with me. So I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore. But I decided through all my downloads and everything to offer an Ascension Mastery course last month. So I did that, and I'm a few weeks in with 5 different groups. And I fucking love it so much. Like, I love spending intimate time with people. It's amazing. And it's a group of 4 participants only. So then I had one of my last one-on-ones finish. They graduated the program. And I was like, I think I'll put an Ascension Mastery in there. So I'm opening up 4 seats for an Ascension Mastery course with me. Um, I know who you are. If it's not you, I will say no, and it's not personal. I love you too much to put you in a seat that's not for you right now. So we're opening up that. That's going to be Fridays at 11 Eastern time. So, and then I think I have one opening coming up. I'm just waiting to hear back from for a one-on-one for someone who truly is a game changer. If you're not a game changer, please don't. You probably think you're a game changer, and you probably are a game changer to some degree, but like my level of game changer, where like into the world. Like, okay, I'll just stop talking. I'm over now. Bye. Love you. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Literally, I'm gonna go have V8. Not, I'm gonna go have chocolate, and then I have another call. So I have 15 minutes. I'm gonna go like chocolate in my mouth, and then yeah, okay, okay. I'm very much done talking. I love you. Go have an amazing ass week. Follow the direction of your intuition. Level up. Celebrate your goddamn self, and go look in the mirror and find a million reasons to say thank you. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye.